Alright, so today, what I'm going to do is show everyone how to get the MIDI software working for Rust so that you can play all your instruments and everything. I use one of the older options that I've seen from a couple years ago that's worked flawlessly every time for me. I've had a couple bumps now that I got a new computer trying to reset it up, so I just want to make this video to maybe clear up some of those issues for other people that may have had the same problem as me without having to do all the research. So you're going to need two things. There's Loop MIDI and MIDI Player. The first one, Loop MIDI, I won't be putting links anywhere. You can just Google these. Very first thing, Loop MIDI, and you'll come over to this. When it loads, you're going to hit download Loop MIDI. Make sure it says Loop MIDI Setup, and then save. The next thing you're going to do is MIDI Player. MIDI Player, CNET right here. Just make sure when you download from this website, you hit download and your pop-up actually says MIDI Player. If it doesn't say MIDI Player, just hit cancel, go back a page and hit download again. It'll work for you. Once having those downloaded, you're going to see them over here in your downloads. Loop MIDI. This one, you can just run that application and it'll pull up Loop MIDI for you. Mine's already installed. You're just going to hit install, check all the boxes, move on. If you want to change the boxes, you're more than welcome to. It's not going to make too much of a difference, honestly. And then once you have it opened, it's going to look a little something like this. You're going to have name a new port right at the bottom. So you're going to call that Rust. I'm just doing Rust 1. And you're going to see it come up. That's also how you make another port if you want to. But we'll just get rid of that. So you're going to be using Rust. The next thing you're going to do is, and I'll close out mine, but you're going to come back to your downloads and you have MIDI Player that was in a zip folder. So you're going to hit MIDI Player. It's going to extract all. Once it finishes extracting, you're going to see it here in just like an uncompressed folder. You'll pop in, just run MIDI Player application, and what you're going to do, you see I have all my songs. I'll show you how to get those right after this part. The first thing you're going to come do, settings, these will be automatically checked, so it's going to look a little bit like this. You're going to uncheck use bass and uncheck use MIDI mapper. This will be default to Microsoft Wavetable. You're going to come down to Rust because you do Loop MIDI first. Come down to Rust, hit OK. You've finished that whole part of the project. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to Bit MIDI. And you can find anything on here. Under the Sea from Little Mermaid, that's one I've done. The Pirates of the Caribbean. Let's see, we'll do this one. Guys, I'm sure in this, I see these a lot. Just come close them. Make sure if you want to hear it first, you can. So it sounds decent, right? So we'll hit download. I have it all saving in my music area right here. So hit save, and what you'll do, right click show in folder, so you already see it, and you're going to come to your MIDI player. You're going to drag and drop it in your MIDI player, like I just put it right here. And when you hit play, you should not hear it. That means it's being ported out to the Rust client. So I'll stop that. And now that you know how to do Loop MIDI, MIDI Player, you've set the port to Rust, and you've gotten your music from Bit MIDI, what you're going to do is you're just going to open Rust and play the music. So I will come back in just a second. Okay, now that we've got all the software ready to go, all you're going to do is hit your Windows button, and pull up your MIDI Player, or Alt Tab, or your choice. MIDI Player, select the song that you want, and then all you have to do is hit play, and it'll play for you. and that's all there is to it. Play any song you want and sit here and have a blast with your friends and try to annoy your neighbors as much as possible. If you guys have any questions, shoot them in a comment below. I'll be happy to help troubleshoot. I hope everyone has a great day, and thank you for supporting the channel. See ya.